Hey guys, what's going on? So I wanted to go over a topic that personally interests me, and that is defining end game. I've seen this term thrown around a lot, whether on Reddit or in a Discord server or in the in-game chat. They say when you're at end game, do this or that. So I wanted to share my opinion, I guess you could say, on what end game is, which I personally think is reasonable. So for me, end game is when you can complete all solo content that doesn't have a ranking and content that doesn't include more than just yourself. Some people would argue that you're not at in-game until you can start doing hard dragons, but the thing is, I kind of don't think any single person can clear hard dragons by themselves. Yet there are probably people out there that can carry a noob through a hard dragon raid. So it's like someone at level 40 could be carried on like fire, hard mode dragon, and then all of a sudden they'd be at in-game because they can do that. But they were carried by 2 level 100s or whatever. Whereas someone like me, level 73, I've never completed a single hard dragon raid, but I would still consider myself at end game because I have completed all of the solo content. Chapter 7, Hell Mode is finished, level 65 of Tower of Challenge is finished, all 25 floors of the Tower of Ordeals is finished, and all 45 floors of the Ancient Royal Vault are finished. So that's basically what I consider end game, is when you can do all solo things yourself. Now what do you do at end game? That is the question next. Most people will say just building up gear, going through Black Dragon. But what about when you're satisfied with your gear and you have it pretty much as good as you want it? Kind of in my case right now, like I know it could be a little bit better for things like World Boss, because World Boss, it requires you to have at least 8 geared units. So you could have 8 or more sets of gear, because the thing is, as you build up new characters, let's say you've built up 3 pairs of robes for your like 3 wizards slash priests, but your new team comp with this new character you've raised, you only get to take 2 priests slash wizards or something. So essentially this piece of gear is kind of useless now, so you have to raise actually even more than 8 sets of gear if you want to be like perfect in World Boss. And then there's also this new League of Honor where you need even more heroes, probably even more than 8, because depending on who gets banned and who gets picked, at the end of it all you may have even less than 4 heroes you can choose from that are geared. Because if both you and your opponent are going for the same heroes and banning ones you have geared, they can essentially prevent you from 6 of your geared heroes. So besides spamming Dragon Raid to get more gear, which I've lost a little bit of interest in, besides going for Gladi, and I believe we will be getting new NPCs. The next one should be coming actually rather soon, so just spamming dragons, at least for the raid tokens, is never really a bad idea. Also farming Chapter 7 Hell is never really a bad idea either, even if you have no one to raise like I mostly never do, because you'll always get your hands on some deluxe potions, and for the next hero you want to raise, you can just zoom them up to 80 as soon as you get them if you want to, as long as you get them to at least T1 of course. And also these, I kinda don't feel like I'll ever need as much Stardust as I have, because I have like almost 500,000 now, and it's like, I don't know, I don't find good enough gear most of the time to max out at substats. And even though I've done enough Dragon Raids to have a 1-star Gladi unique weapon, granted I did get one of those from the 50,000 Ruby Spin event, but still, that's a lot of damn Dragon Raids. And considering how rare perfect, or at least close to perfect gear is, I just don't feel like I'll ever need that much Stardust, so that's kind of not a point for me. But the deluxe potions are always good. You also get Essence, which is also good. Always crafting fragments for more Stones of Infinity to continue raising your heroes. So that's basically going to be the main point of in-game, is getting as many fragments as you can, crafting as many stones as you can, raising up the heroes you want to raise, and of course a lot of dragon raids for that good gear. So for the past like month or 2 months, my entire gameplay has been 7-4 on Hell Mode and dragon raids from time to time. Some days I don't do dragon raids, some days I do a lot. It just depends on what that day is like. But of course arena as well, but I kind of can't count arena into in-game because you can do arena starting on day 1, so that's just kind of like one of those constant things like Stockade and Upper Dungeons and stuff like that. And the reason I'm not counting arena into in-game, even though probably at in-game you will be wanting to go for arena-like units, is because that's kind of weird. It involves other real players, you know, people you are competing against, people that have also rankings and stuff like that. So no matter how much you progress in the game, everyone else is also progressing at an equal, faster or slower rate or whatever. So it's like kind of hard to compare that, like saying To be in-game, you also need to be Master at least, or Challenger. Well, Master is a little bit more acceptable, even though I still think people meet the criteria of what I just said about beating all the solo like PvE content without really going for Arena. Maybe some people just don't like Arena, can't handle Arena or whatever. I personally don't like it at all, even though I do it. It's a lot of pressure. I'm quite competitive, so every time I lose, I kind of internally rage a little bit, and that's just kind of like my nature. But so Arena isn't really a big point for me. I do maybe like 10-20 battles a day, and I'm done with it. Whatever ranking I end up on, it's fine for me. So I'm not too interested in that. And then of course with the new League of Honor, again, I'm not doing that very often. As you can see, I've only done 59 battles this season, whereas other people have done hundreds, like probably 200-300 at this time. You can't check, unfortunately. And going on a little bit of a tangent here, it is actually enough to get the fragments. These actually reset every single week though, I noticed. Well, maybe, because they reset just this Monday, and I had all 3 of these available to buy again. I was able to buy the Essence and the 3 fragment packs, thankfully, because I had a suspicion it would be resetting every week, but I wasn't sure. And so it really does. I was thinking about just macroing the Arena, so I just hit ready to duel, and then okay, and then just wait until the timer runs out. I know that's kind of a dickish thing to do because I hate running into AFK people. It always takes forever, but it's a little bit better now that their time keeps getting cut in half every time they don't choose anything within the time limit. And of course that has its ups and downs. When you can keep a consistent winning streak, you get like 110 points per battle. But you do need to actively play. I still think it's more worth it to actively play when you can get a consistent winning streak, because you'll only be getting 10 points when you're losing, because you're obviously going to lose if you're fighting a non-AFK opponent. So it would take 11 battles to make up for 1 win. And in those 3 hours you get to play, even if you start it like immediately at 7 and go until 10, I'm not too sure how many battles you could get in there, or if it could just make up for like 30 minutes or 1 hour if you have a decent win rate. But just some quick math, it's obviously not going to be that fast, because you're literally getting points 11 times faster, probably even more than that, because when you're choosing the heroes yourself, the pick ban phase doesn't last quite as long. Okay, but enough of that tangent. Sorry about that. That has nothing to do with endgame at all, even though it kind of does, because also for in-game you need like 12 heroes there, but they did reduce it to just having the heroes, not necessarily them being 5 stars. So that should make the entry level a bit easier for somewhat earlier game players, because you get like 5 heroes to start off with, and you get like 3 selectors, that's 8 heroes already. If you buy like 2 heroes you really want and get 2 from the inn, you'd be ready to go in a month and a half or so. But yeah, those are basically my thoughts on end game. When you've done all the core sort of gameplay and you're kind of just left to grind, that's basically what it is, I would say. Really looking forward to the day they release Chapter 8, level 90 heroes, T8 gear. It would really give everyone at in-game another thing to strive for, and that would be awesome. Come on, Vespa, tell us something. But in the meantime, raising heroes to T5 and all that stuff, raising new heroes, having new team comps, it's all still pretty cool and fun and interesting, and holds me over until they do finally release more content, more big content. Chapter 8, T8, level 90, all that stuff would be nice. But yeah, that'll do it. Make sure to drop your comments down below. If you have your own version of endgame you would like to share, feel free to drop it down there as well. I appreciate and accept all opinions. Leaving a like would also be greatly appreciated if you did happen to enjoy. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.